Welcome again to the info session for Grow to Scale. That is a program of She's Well Network, an experience of She's Well Network. This will be our pilot for this program. We plan to host 2 cohorts this year, but this first one will be extra special because the first time is always it's always the one, right? It's the one where folks get to design and build with you the most. They are the pioneers of the thing. And so really excited for this first cohort. So we did a couple of intros and I'll introduce myself again. I'm Nakia Drummond, founder and CEO of She's Well Networked. And also of the Well membership network that really led to the creation of She's Well Network. I also have a consulting firm, NLD Strategic, which was my dive into full-time entrepreneurship 11 years ago, and that consulting firm focused on program design and strategic planning. And the Well and She's Well networks are the programs I've designed, if you will. And I'm really excited about the work that we do, where we really support Black women business owners on their journey with community, collaboration, confidence, capital, and celebration. So those 5 C's were created in community, but everything we do centers around them. And She's Well Networked is really charged up around the idea of us supporting 1,000 Black women in Maryland alone to achieve $1 million in revenue within that goal for us is within the next 3 years. And so we're really charged up about it. And Grow to Scale is our primary approach to supporting Black women business owners to this mission. Want to thank our sponsor for Grow to Scale for this first 2 cohorts, Care First. I'm grateful for their investment in Black women entrepreneurs, understanding that our health is wealth as well, and that if we can create and build businesses where we get to thrive, then our health and longevity are improved in the process. And that is what they are hoping for in this program and what we're hoping for. All right, I want to introduce you to a couple of our partners. They could not be here tonight, but they sent us messages, and I'm going to play those messages for you. One is a little longer than the other. Rachel's is about 2 minutes, and Mosley's is about 30 seconds because I pulled Mosley's from another video that we had to do together. So bear with us. Hopefully this all works out and plays well, but tech doesn't always tech. So let's see.
Hi, I'm Rachel Allen,
Can you all hear
founder and CEO of Operations School. We are so excited to partner with the Well to present Grow to Scale. We have worked with thousands of entrepreneurs just like you who are thrilled about being able to take their business from where they are now to the kind of business that really is why you got into business for the first place. Maybe you were looking to quit your full-time employment, be able to hire employees.
We can
But
hear
most
it, but we
importantly,
can't
maybe
see the
you're an
video
entrepreneur
anymore.
who is really interested in
Hold on one
firing your.
I did a thing and that thing kicked us out of it. So 1 second. There we go.
Who are thrilled about being able to take their business from where they are now to the kind of business that really is why you got into business for the first place. Maybe you were looking to quit your full-time employment, be able to hire employees. But most importantly, maybe you are an entrepreneur who is really interested in firing yourself from the day-to-day grind, and you're really interested in building a business that lives beyond you. One of the things that we focus on in Operations School is building something that not can only live beyond you, but something that allows you to be fully freed up as the visionary and CEO that you are, and not being just a slave to a job that you created for yourself. So over the program that we'll be working together on, you'll be learning things about systems, delegation, CEO strategies, but also the inner work that it really takes to grow into the type of CEO that can meet the goals that you have set for yourself. A lot of times that is difficult work. It's challenging work because as Black women and entrepreneurs, we are not often provided with the space to be able to share our testimonies and our stories and then use a data-driven approach to pull that all together as it relates to running our business. So we are really looking forward to being able to work with you. I have the privilege of being able to say that this is going to be one of the few programs that I personally get to teach. So you and I are going to get the privilege of being able to work really closely together. But most importantly, we are thrilled to be able to be a part of your business journey, particularly as it relates to you getting a strong, solid foundation with the operational parts of your business that are going to help take it to the next level. So I cannot wait to work together.
All right. And so Rachel will and her team will be supporting us with the, as she mentioned, operational strategy and operational components of Grow to Scale. And then I'm going to introduce you to Dr. Mosley, who is going to share more about herself, and I'll share a little about what her offering is through Grow to Scale.
Dr. Mosley with the Playbook, an award-winning mental health sports tech company, and I've worked with championship teams in pro sports and the military. Without mental health infrastructure, leaders burn out no matter how talented they are, and Black women entrepreneurs carry workplace trauma while building companies. We're applying proven performance science and technology so they can lead while maximizing well-being and performance.
All right. Mosley nailed it because she had to get that done in like 22 seconds because that's what we needed at that time. So that's why she was talking a lot faster than Rachel. But what Mosley and the Playbook are offering through Grow to Scale is access to their state-of-the-art mental health and wellness platform that was designed and created by her to originally support athletes, but realizing that high performance environments are high performance environments, and the same tools that athletes need to remain high performers, to stay out of their head and in the game, right? To be able to show up over and over again for themselves and not burn out are the same things that we need as entrepreneurs. And so Mosley will come in as a coach, and her tool, the Playbook, will be a support to all the women who participate, because we don't want to just like grind ourselves out and build the thing but not be able to breathe in the process. And we want to be able to have strategies and supports that allow us to not just have that for ourselves, the breathing room, because some of us are great at creating it for ourselves, but what does it look like in our organizations? How do we replicate what we strategies we've learned for creating breathing room and creating a healthy and well-being, healthiness and well-being in our lifestyles? How do we create that in our businesses as well and for our teams? And so that is what Mosley and the Playbook will bring. So let's just look at the program really quickly. Who's it for? As I said, Maryland-based Black women-owned businesses or Black women founders in Maryland whose revenue range between 1K and $1 million, about that mark. This is going to be a roughly 12-week cohort experience. It'll be a combination of in-person and virtual, mostly virtual. There will be 3 in-person experiences during the cohort, and then 1 post-cohort experience about a month or 2 after we are done. The program is going to start on March 17th and run through May 29th. I'll go through the actual session dates and the alumni gathering. We will set that date together as a cohort. The investment for this, if you are a member of the Well, because the Well pours so much back into She's Well Network, we are able to say that as a Well member, your investment will be $250, and as a non-Well member, your investment will be $500. But for everyone, you will get more back than what you put in, and I'm not saying that as cliche. I am saying it in a very literal sense, and we will talk about that in a moment. The cohort will be 10 to 12 participants. This is likely The only cohort we will do this size, well, there may be one more that we will do at this size. After that, they will double in size. And so if you like a nice smaller cohort experience, this will be your time to shine. All right, so program components. As I mentioned, there's the integrated, or you saw in conversation or seeing the videos from Rachel and Mosley, there's an integrated curriculum approach. So you will get the business infrastructure excellence portion of this, the scaling to a million and beyond, with support from Rachel and the operations school team. Their curriculum is specifically focused on your growth strategy, your strategy for operational sovereignty. How do you get you out of some of the things or all the things that you want to be out of? And I know you two operational people, you have figured out some of the tweaks in your own business, but there's always something else to learn, right? In some other area to grow in. And then you will also have the playbooks, mental health, and high performance support from Mosley through coaching and through the playbooks app, where you're able to track your own metrics. So for those of you who like data, operations people typically do, to be able to look at what are those triggers, right? Like what are those things that like send you into high stress? How do you move them either out of your business completely or off of your plate? And how do you do the same for your team, where they don't necessarily thrive, that or things that are creating undue stress for the work environment? Secondly, we're going to have a participant design funding challenge. Probably haven't heard of this before. She's Well Networked is doing it because we are sick of pitch competitions. One, there are other ways to fund Black women-owned businesses. There are other ways to fund small businesses besides pitch competitions and pitting us against each other, particularly in our community that, that it has some like resonant damage, right? Because we have always been pitted against each other and always been told there's not enough and there's only this much and only, one or two people can get it. And so the pitch competition really reinforces a concept that so many of us are trying to grow out of in the first place as we elevate ourselves in business. And so this participant designed funding challenge is exactly what it sounds like. There is going to be a full day dedicated to the brilliant women in this cohort designing a concept around which our businesses can be funded. And there is a pot of money to support this. It's not a huge pot, but what we want to do is be able to present this to some other partners and get them to add to that pot. And you all may say, hey, we think we all should get X. Or you all may, because we are that unselfish, say that these two businesses really should get this first installment of this particular funding concept. And here's why. But whatever it looks like, it will be designed by the women participating in this cohort, and your names will be on it as the designers of this approach to funding. Thirdly, you will receive a conference support stipend. So we recognize that this program is not going to cover everything, right? And that there are going to be things that come up in it that pique your curiosity, or that you really want to like drill in further around for your in particular for your individual business, and that is going to support you in elevating your own growth. And so this conference support stipend will be up to $1,000 for you to attend a national or regional conference where that is focused on either growing/retaining your workforce. And so that's pretty broad. So retaining could mean wellness supports. How do I provide wellness supports for train? It may mean how do you train? It may mean just how do you design a workforce that really works for your type of business, or a conference that is focused on integrating AI for greater efficiency. We, at this point, I know some of us are still resistant to AI, but like it's here and it's here to stay. So we need to figure out how to make it work for us and how to be ahead of the game and not having to play catch up after the fact. I heard at a conference last week, so Danielle and I were both there at BizCon, but there was a session about AI, and the gentleman that spoke said, you know, years ago when the computer was first coming out, there was a same level of tension and freak out. It was going to
Mhm.
replace people. People's jobs were going to go away. And now none of us can imagine our lives without our computers, and we can't do anything without them, whether it is the phone that we carry in our pocket, which is a computer, a very powerful computer, or the one that we keep on our desk or in our bags. And so we really need to start to see AI in a similar way, that it is
Mhm.
a tool for humans, not the other way around. And so the smarter we become about it, the less fearful we can be of it, and the more it can serve us in our growth. So there's that conference support. So I told y'all you were getting more out of this than you will put into it, any way you slice it or dice it. And then the community building, we're going to have community building gatherings. So one, there will be at least I told you all about the alumni gathering that'll happen in June or July. We will set the date together. But there are three in-person experiences, full day experiences throughout this 12-week journey. And one that I'll suggest, because there's a significant, couple week gap in the process. And so, maybe we'll just want to get dinner or want to have breakfast together or something like that, so that the program participants can just get to know one another, build community. A little more about this participant design challenge. We all will co-develop the criteria. We'll vote on how it gets distributed. We'll explore models together. We'll bring things in, right? Like we will play until we
Mhm.
get to something that feels really right for us in that room, but also recognizing that the model that we're designing will live beyond us in that room. We are like creating a thing that could be a sustaining mechanism for Black women-owned businesses and beyond. And then redesigning norms. We don't have to, again, let's go beyond the pitch competitions, go beyond it has to go to this business in this way. What are the most creative ways? I love design, and one of the things that I do in design is constantly ask the question of how might we? And so the
Mhm.
question here is, how might we fund our businesses in ways that are not extractive, or ways that don't pit us against each other, or ways that truly like feel nurturing and feel good and feel like promise. And so I'm really excited for this funding challenge. Okay, so program schedule. We will start on March 17th. That will be in person all day. I know that's coming up soon. Want y'all to know that that'll be like a 9:30 to 4:30 type of thing in the Baltimore area. The sessions you see in white, those will be your virtual sessions. Those will be in the evening, 6:30 to 8:30. They will be a combination of about 30 minutes with the playbook, and the other 90 minutes with operations school, where you will be focused on these topics and these areas. Now, as a business owner that is growing, who is growing, you will see these things and say, I know this stuff, these topics and titles. And you absolutely should have a degree of knowledge around all of these topics, right? At this point. But what is so special about Operation School is while they have like this core kind of structure and content, every single cohort and program is designed with that curricula as a guide or a container, but not an end all be all. You all will shape it with your context, and the content will be personalized to you all. So there's going to be as a part of even applying something that an opportunity for you to inform the content for this session. And you'll be bringing in application, right? Like your own application of how you need old school to work for you. The folks teaching it are truly expert, and they're practitioners. They're not just teachers. So this is not theory. These are women who've built multi-million dollar businesses and or funded them. And so they know their stuff and can apply it in context. And so that's really exciting. And then again, for each one of these sessions, there is a complimentary session focused on your wellness and well-being and that of your company and your team, that you are a reflection of that for your company. Hello, sis. Thanks for joining us. I do not want to say your name wrong. You can come off mute and say it if you like. But thank you for being here. Welcome, welcome, welcome.
Good
So,
evening, Kentayani.
Kentayani,
Kentayani
beautiful. Thank
Murray.
you for being here.
Yeah.
I'm Nakia. We are just going over the program schedule. As I was noting, the sessions in red are the in-person sessions. Those are once a month over the 12-week period. They will be full-day sessions. As entrepreneurs, we have to work on our businesses, not just in them. So one of the things to note about who we're looking for is people who understand the value and the power in stepping out to zoom in, and understand the need to do that and give themselves space for that. Because if you do that for yourself, you'll do that for your team and you'll do that for your community as well. And so that's the gist of the program. And so let me talk about each of the in-person sessions. So the first day we'll focus a lot on community building, that you'll be oriented to each component of the program. But there'll still be a deep dive session. So you will explore all of one of the modules of the playbook in that first session where you are with Mosley and really diving into how do you avoid burnout? And how do how do you know what your warning signs are and things like that? So that is going to be session one with her. Session one with old school is going to be really what gets you operationalized to scale. So we're jumping right in, but we're also going to have some community building in that space, some time for you to get to know each other individually and as a group. It will be a warm feeling day, a pleasant day together. And then the sessions in between, up until session 5, will be again virtual in the evening, 6:30 to 8:30, with a combination of old school and the playbook, with old school being about 90 minutes of the session and playbook being about 30. That midpoint session is, I don't know why operational excellence is here. That shouldn't be there. That was a typo on my end. But that midpoint session is actually all that day is the design challenge, the funding design challenge. So that is the day where the whole cohort will bring all your beautiful, brilliant selves into a room and say, how would we want Black women-owned businesses to be funded? If we had our druthers, how might we fund Black women-owned businesses in a way that is not pitch competitions? And again, there is a pot of money to support this. That pot of money will be awarded in this space, and it will be based on your design. And so you all will collectively design that and spend the day doing that. So that's going to be a really, really rewarding day. You'll of course be bringing some of some of your challenges in the space that day, because we all know we need money to scale. And so it has to be a part of the process. And so, how do we need our businesses to be funded so that we can scale in a way that feels right and that is right for Black women-owned businesses? And then session 6 through 9 again will be virtual. Those will be evening sessions, a combination of old school and playbook. Your final session will be application plan presentations. And what does that mean? How are you applying the learnings that you've collected over this 12-week experience, I think it's 11 weeks experience? How are you planning to apply that in your business? So instead of you just tinkering on your own and Delshan, you having all your post-it notes in your corner and all your notes about what you're going to do, you are going to share that with everybody else. Because what good is it if we all come in here, we gather these learnings and we walk out of the space and don't share what we've learned and how we can apply it in our businesses? Because what we'll also learn in that space is somebody's got something that you need to be able to apply that learning. And somebody gives you an idea that you weren't even thinking about that you need to take back to your own business. So this is where we see it all coming together, the relationships you've built, the learnings you've gained, it coming together in this space over the course of that day where you all get to present how you're planning to apply what you've learned, and a bunch of, oh, we need to do this together will start to happen. And then again, as I mentioned, we will set this date together as a cohort, but in June or July, we will then have an alumni gathering, which will just be really a touch point, a pulse check. How are you going? You could say, hey, I took the summer off. I needed a break from after all of this. I'm processing it, haven't done a thing, but it's good to see y'all. And that's fine too. There will be a touch point in June or July just for alumni to come back together to, remember that you have the support of this community. So that is what the schedule looks like. All right, so why should you join Cohort 1? So whether you're a solopreneur or you've got a team going already, we want to keep transforming and evolving our mindset as a CEO. The world is changing fast. Things are moving fast. AI is transforming fast. We lost a ton of jobs as Black women fast last year. And so every one of us who owns a business we have a mandate on us to create jobs for our community. We have a mandate on us to never need to go back into a system that is just going to discard us. This work is highly personal for She's Well Network and for me individually. I am fired up about what we need to do as a community, and I'm fired up about doing it with every support possible. I mean, everyone. I believe that we deserve all the best things. And so this isn't about us putting on our back every challenge of the world. That is not it. This is about us being able to live sovereign lives where what is going on in the world does not have to touch us to the degree that it does today. I am super excited for Cohort 1 to be able to build scalable systems that teach us, as She's Well Networked, how to continue to grow and scale this program. So not only will this be about your sustained growth, but you'll be feeding a program, a model that is designed to support an ecosystem, a new ecosystem of jobs and of entrepreneurship and new ways forward. So whether we faced it or not, and I'm sure you felt it, like things are changing, and so things feel different. Like none of us have our feet, like none of us are fully like rooted right now. There is a bit of like, back and forth because the world literally is changing and shifting. And so it is on us to create something that can last for us, to connect with each other, right? Like this is a space and opportunity, not just to like learn all the things and take it and run, but to truly like continue to build and evolve your community of practitioners, of Black women business owners, of the people that support us, and to gain expert guidance from some leading industry experts. So they're going to now be a part of your network and expand your network. Rachel is from Detroit and lives in Detroit, although she has a sister based in Baltimore. And Mosley lives in Minneapolis, actually, some part-time, and also Atlanta. She's also lived in Baltimore as well, at some point. And so that just expanded your community to other parts of the country just by being a part of this program. And then also really to just master these skills, right? Like we've got to keep evolving, growing, developing our skills, and to give you space for some clear action as this evolution of business ownership is continuing, and also what it means to have a job or be an employer, just to give you space to expound on that and to really be expansive in the way you think about it. How do we create a space where fear is not driving or leading us, but that feeling protected in the space by each other and by our brilliance and by what we know we create together is really the driving force. Won't go through all of these things again. Of course, you received these or we shared these already, but this program is going to be limited to 10 to 12 people. 12 will be like our real stretch number. Again, the costs will be, it's a $500 investment if you're not a well member. If you are a well member, it's a $250 investment. Whichever one you get, whichever one you are, you saw that you will get that back just in the stipend to attend a conference alone. But there's other, sort of ways in which you will be compensated for participating, and that is through your own learning, through the community that you'll build, but then also that funding challenge, however you all decide that goes. So next steps is that the application will be live in the portal tomorrow. It will not be clunky and cumbersome. It will involve a video that asks you to answer a couple questions. You don't have to be fancy and done up. As you saw, like Rachel modeled, she was just like in her living room space. She didn't have on makeup, like show up how you show up. And but if you do get done up, do get done up. But you will submit that online to us by February the 20th. And then you will hear from us by the end of the month, and the program will kick off on March 17th. And now I will take questions. And I'm happy to go back to anything that you need to hear again.
I don't know if I have any questions. I think this is amazing. This is I would just like to say I do appreciate the like not pitch portion of it. I also appreciate not the final demonstration of we like wrap it up and we have to do a presentation or something like that. Not that that wouldn't be good, but I do appreciate the like turn on that, which is kind of a call to accountability of how are we going to incorporate this into our businesses. So I feel like this is really thoughtful. It feels like it's structured in such a way that will actually like learn something and be what is it inspired to like do it in our
Yeah.
businesses, right?
Yeah.
So I think it's beyond learning. I don't really know if I have questions. Well, how are you gonna select the like 10 orgs, 10 businesses?
Yeah, so we were talking about this today because the selection process for us really is going to be about willingness and readiness, right? So readiness being like, you are a business that is growing. And we wanted you to be able to just say, like, this will be honor system. There is year over year growth. Although if you look at the last like 5 years of your business, and let's say you had a year where you weren't growing, or 2 years, that's fine. If last year you weren't growing, but the 2 years before that you were, we know that like that happens, but that there is some growth, there's some trajectory forward, and that you can articulate your own growth, not just in revenue, but just how you've continued to grow your business in a way that signals, yes, I do intend to be scaling or to scale. I don't intend to just, all right, I just want to tinker over here, which is fine, but that's not what this program is focused on. So those are like the primary ways. So that's the those are like the, core criteria. And the will is also like, will you be present? Will you show up? Are you committed to like being there at these things, at the sessions? Are you committed to designing and in collaboration with other people, and knowing that like you might not be the one who even gets the funding, but like you designed it, you being a part of the design. So how do you show up in, sort of how you answer those questions?
Thank you.
Yeah. Ladies, anybody else? And say your name again for me, sis.
Yeah, can tie your knee.
Can tie a knee. Got
Yes,
it.
like can you tie your knee?
Thank you. I always need mnemonics for all types of things. Thank you, Kantayani. You have a question or thought to
I
share?
do. Well, I wanted to start out with a comment.
Hmm.
Um, I apologize that I was late. I appreciate the email that went out right before because that I saw that and it triggered like yes, I wanted to attend this. So thank you so much. And um I realized that my questions may have been answered before I got on, so I apologize for that as well.
No
But I
worries.
did just want to well, first, I just see this as like such a nice holistic program, some attention to mental health in addition to some areas of skill and growth. So I really, really just appreciate the program structure and I'm just very intrigued. Um, same compliments as Dashawn just gave as well about the structure. I was curious if you could review again what the commitment is, like the how long the session is on those Tuesdays.
Dr.
And
Mosley.
Yep.
and
Yep. I'm
I
sorry.
I have a well, I'll let you answer that, but I have a follow-up question too.
Yeah, no problem. So the sessions on the Tuesdays are 6:30 to 8:30 with 30 minutes focused on your mental health strategy, your performance coaching, and then the other 90 minutes, the operations coaching. And those are again virtual.
And they're virtual. Okay, got it, got it. Thank
But
you.
and then there's the three in-person days which show up in red here. So March 17th. It should not have been March 31st. It should be April 28th. That is the second in-person day, and then May 29th. That is a typo or
Okay,
design error.
okay, okay. Um, my follow-up, and this just goes a little bit into my situation. So
Oh,
my
and I'm sorry, let me note that
uh,
on the in-person days, those are full day sessions. Those are 9:30 to
oh,
4:30. Yes.
okay.
Yep.
Okay. And so you'd want us to be able to confirm being able to commit to those full day sessions as well in
Yes.
advance. Okay.
Yes.
Okay.
Nakia, will we get this just deck so we can check the dates?
Sure, sure. I will send it.
Okay.
Yeah. Or I can just send the program schedule if you just need that. I
Yeah,
need to
just the
fix it.
program schedule,
Yep.
just the dates. Yeah, thank you.
Yep. No problem.
And my follow-up question is that I co-founded and co-executive director of a nonprofit organization, but we primarily our model is fee for service. So we're
Mhm.
consultants, and it's a long story, but we decided that we would be better off starting as a nonprofit, given who our partner and clients are,
Mhm.
um, and having fiscal sponsorship to kind of help with back office things. But we talk about our work, as being a business, and we also have aspirations to set up an LLC
Mhm.
to for because some circumstances might require that. And I
Yep.
just wanted to make sure, was there any eligibility requirements that would make us not be eligible to be part of it.
No, you still have to make money. So, because you're fee for service and not like fundraising based, everything in here will be applicable, right? Like you still have to get the clients and have efficient systems and have, hire people. I think the only place where it may not apply is for you is that second in-person day where we do the funding design challenge because of what just because of what others may bring into the space in terms of how to fund our businesses. But I think you will be an asset in the room for that because you'll have a different perspective about like how to potentially fund because you come from the nonprofit space. So I can't say you wouldn't get it either, right? I'm just naming that it may not end up applying to your model just based on what you all designed together.
Thank you so much. Thank you.
Yeah, no problem. Any questions, Danielle?
They asked a lot of the questions I was going to ask, so I've been taking notes.
Okay. All right. Well, yes, that is everything for now. If you have any more questions, something comes up for you tonight or tomorrow, whatever, feel free to reply to that email that I sent. I will respond to the questions. This is our first session. We'll do another one next week. And it'll be the same content, just a little more polished because it will be my second time doing it. But I will share that content again. But again, if you have questions in the meantime, please, please, please do not hesitate to ask. Your questions are helpful for everybody. And thank you for your time. I appreciate you. Have a great night. And thank you for the feedback too. Again, with this being a new program, it's always exciting and scary to know how people are going to receive it. So your energy tonight was affirming. And I'm really excited about what this means for us and for us to choose new paths to, understand that there are new suns, and really, really excited for it.
Thank you. Thank you. Have a good night, y'all.
Thank
Thank
you
you.
all.
Have a good night,
Have a good
everyone.
night.
Thank you. Good
Bye.
night. Bye.